Now, usually when it comes to the tower, you don't expect it coming, but some of y'all, you guys seen it coming. Or perhaps you guys knew, you guys were manifesting something and it came by surprise. Something came by surprise. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Um, but definitely something kind of caught you off guard here. Now, underneath the underlying energy is the Emperor. Underneath that is the King of Wands. Okay, some of you guys, it could be that you had an epiphany. Okay, so maybe you've been working hard at something and something came about, some sort of information that you can use to your benefit. Now, for some of you guys, this could have been that somebody came in or something like that, or said something. Because you have the Page of Wands here, which talks about messages. It talks about communication in a way. Eight of Wands is talking about communication, but it also talks about progress being made as well. And it's interesting that the moon is coming up in the future because it's not giving us any sort of inkling as to what is going to be coming up in the future because of how shocked you have been. Okay, because remember, the future is a projection of where you are right now, and since you didn't see whatever this was coming, it's kind of it makes sense why you wouldn't be able to know what the future has to hold, what you're going to do next. You're just going to have to kind of feel it out. But what gets me is that the Three of Wands, it's like you guys kind of had a feeling that something was coming in, um, something of great surprise, but your guard is up. I think something definitely came in and just dismantled everything. Something just, pretty much rocked your world in a way. Because the Nine of Wands does indicate defensiveness, having the wall up, you know what I mean, protecting yourself, feeling exhausted, but also not really wanting to give up, right? Still having that determined attitude to keep pushing forward, to keep with the fighting the good fight. And I feel like for some of you guys, this kind of waiting period that you guys have been on is kind of put to an end. I think you guys have, your patience has definitely paid off. Because I do see that you got something coming in that is extravagant, and it's something that you've been waiting on for some time now. um, Here you have in the press, you have the Chariot. So this does talk about, victory. It talks about balancing between your head and your hearts, taking control, willpower. And I feel like there was a lot of exerting your willpower, really trying to get things done, balancing your situation out, balancing yourself out so that way you can execute and do certain goals, do certain things. I do get that feeling that for a lot of you guys, you really put in a lot of effort with this. I think you guys really took control of the situation and you steered the chariot in the direction you wanted to steer it. And now I think something's kind of come up where, yeah, it's a shock, but I think you can work with this because the Three of Wands in your external energy, right? And I feel like it's this news or this message or this new beginning or some sort of spark. But all of this is asking you to take control. Just utilize this energy and go with it. Run with it. Roll with it. Because the Emperor is in your underlying energy. And underneath that is the King of Wands. I don't know if you guys are interacting with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or this is you guys, and your confidence. I think this is really about, just taking action and utilizing what's there, because I don't think you really have a lot of time to really look at the disaster of the tower. I think you're just kind of like rolling with the punches, which is excellent. Because here in the future, even though it's the moon, I think a lot of this has a lot to do with facing your fears. I think something came up where, yeah, it's a brand new beginning now. You have to start from scratch. Your foundation wasn't as stable as you thought it was, but you're going to go into this really fighting for, improvement, fighting for, whatever it is that you're trying to fight for, whether this is a relationship, a career, or what have you. Because the moon is indicating to us that there is only intuition that you need to follow here. There's not much we can see from right now, because this is really the biggest impact of, this is the biggest focus of concentration at this moment. Not a lot of stuff is, not a lot of stuff is focusing on the future, because right now the present is what's kind of going on. And I like how the cards redirect us to the present, because that's the most important. How your future turns out doesn't matter until you figure out what the hell you're going to be doing now. And right now there's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening. And your advice is saying just roll with the punches. Keep moving forward. run with it. Take that energy and run with it. You got both. You got two fast moving energies here. I think the Tower would be one of the fastest because you kind of don't see it coming. And before you try to react, it's usually too late. And I feel like, honestly, guys, this is not just something happening to you. I feel like you guys made the Tower happen. I think you guys have been waiting for some time for an opportunity, and that opportunity opened. And I feel like this is your time to act. For those of you, this is your absolute time to act. I think an opportunity is here. The Tower is like your advice, actually. It's like saying, hey, you have an opportunity to do something, take it. And who cares about what happens next? Focus on now. What do you want to do? What do you want to what do you want to achieve in this moment and this time, especially with this opportunity coming up, or this opportunity that's opened up for you? Because I think you've been patient, you've been waiting for some time, and you haven't given up, and this is your moment to shine. And I think this is why all this is coming up. Now, what's interesting is that you have the Devil as your goal, aim, not your goal, aim, ambition, but your outcome. Excuse me. And the Devil and the outcome can indicate attachments. It can indicate addictions. It can indicate old behaviors. It can indicate obsession. I don't think it's talking about a toxic relationship. Maybe for some of you guys, you're realizing that your situation is very toxic, or that you're coming out of a phase where, or you're recognizing that you're in a situation where you're giving up some of your power that you need to take back. Because this is a lot to do with power, as you see the Emperor's underlying energy. So let me see. Why is the Devil? That's too many cards. Sorry, guys. I don't know why my throat is so yoky. The Devil. Why is the Devil? Too many cards. Why is the Devil in the outcome? One card, please. Not 5. I'm not taking 5. There we go. Thank you. A new perspective. Okay. So new ideas, new perspective. New perspective about what? 6 of Swords, moving on, leaving something behind. Okay, so for a lot of you guys, this is relieving yourselves of attachments from the past, right? Gaining a new perspective regarding, moving forward, building something new, creating something new, right? Striving for something new. And I think the Devil here, I think the reason why the Tower is coming up, because I think you guys are breaking free from those bondages, or you guys are being set free by the Tower. Because remember, because it's interesting. The reason why I see the Devil coming up, and the reason why it's a big alarm bell for me, is because you're going backwards. Because after the Devil is the Tower, but you have the Tower, then the Devil, which is going backwards. And I'm like, okay, I feel like something happens, something happens. Either you take control, you take action, or someone else takes action, or something really big happens to alert you of some things that you need to break free from, and that builds your, gives you that new perspective, that new way of thinking. Excuse me. And that's going to help you move on to bigger and better things. But right now, it's like taking control of what you've got going on right now with this Tower energy. And that, taking action based off of what you want to take action on, Take this advantage, well, this is an advantage, take it for what it is, right? And I feel like a lot of you guys are, I really feel like you guys are, you're doing that. You're taking control, or this is about you taking control now. Because I think you guys have been waiting for some time, and it's just, the opportunities have presented itself. Very clear reading, guys. And I feel like it has to do with taking, it has to do with a message. It has to do with, progress, whether this is a career, like taking an opportunity to shine, right? Instead of just doing the cookie cutter thing and following along, maybe this is about going outside of outside the box and showing your true creative energy, because the Page of Wands, right? Wands are creativity. You might have to stand up to a boss, who knows? But you guys have been taking control and doing the best that you can, so this is awesome. Okay, I saw that. Serendipity. Serendipity is what came out. That's luck being on your side. I love that. That's good. It's like you have the weight of the universe behind you at this moment. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of that, of this opportunity that you have around you, because it could definitely swing in your favor, and I can feel it does. And I see like you guys definitely notice the good opportunity when you see it. So definitely don't let this pass you by. Let's take a look at your romance angels. The healing family issues. And this says your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. And this talks about intimacy as well, like figuring out the intimate parts of ourselves, right? Um, uh, that of which that is, not functioning to its highest degree, and then healing those. And that can go back to the devil card, because the devil doesn't talk about what we end up giving our power away to, right? Like, what do we give our power away to? Why do we do it? And I think that's why the Ace of Swords and the Tower to me are both epiphanies, because I think you realize what foundation had been destroyed and why it was the way it was in the first place, so you can build a new foundation with a stable foundation, with stable ground, with whatever it needed that it didn't have last time. And I feel like there's something deeper to this, right? There's always something deeper to this. There's something spiritual. And the moon doesn't just say that, oh, we can't tell what's going on in the future. It also talks about tackling old fears, tackling fears, period. Going through a really dark period, in the sense of like facing those things that we suppress, the things that we kind of ignore on a day-to-day. They're becoming more and more intense, and it's harder to ignore. And I feel like with the Tower, they're making it more exposed, and you kind of have to kind of wind your way through the madness in order to get to the light. And I feel like this is one of these moments, because the devil here in your outcome goes well with the moon. And that, to me, it's talking about going through a dark period, or a period where you're having to face your fears, your insecurities, your discomforts, so that way you can relieve yourself of the attachments of whatever this devil is holding you. Because the devil doesn't truly hold you. It's a choice. And the more you see that, a lot of the things that you go through, and a lot of the behaviors and things that you've got going on, is the second you realize it's a choice, the more and more power you will realize you have. Because nothing truly binds you. It's not even even with the devil, right? In the Rider-Waite, they have the chain around their neck is loose. It's a choice for them to be there, and that is not to say that they deserve, they're to blame for the reason why they do X, Y, and Z. It's not blame. It's not judgment, but it's definitely recognizing their power. Right? It's seeing the powerful people in that card. You are one of those powerful people in that card. But it's up to you whether you want to acknowledge that power and take advantage of that power in this moment, or just let people have it. Because, you're a powerful being, and it's up to you. But I feel like you guys have been gaining, more control of your power here. I think you were recognizing it some more, and then some things are going to happen here, or have happened, and you're recognizing your power little by little. But I feel like through an opportunity, you're going to do something. You're going to do something, or you have been doing something, or you're planning to do something. Something's coming about where you've been waiting for an opportunity for something to happen, and it's just going to open the floodgates. Yes, you're going to deal with some, some old insecurities, some old pains, maybe some fears, perhaps some insecurities, some things, some habits that you have set up, which is why you have the Nine of Wands up here in the first place. That barrier to protect yourself, that's going to come down, because you realize that there's more to life than being behind the wall and fighting off people, or fighting off things that actually you can take control and honestly not let bother you, because there is some things behind that wall that still needs to be healed and needs to be addressed. And I don't think you guys are going to let this fight go. So I wish you guys all the best of luck, because this is one hell of a fight here, because you got 3 major arcana of 4. It's big, man. 5, excuse me. 5 major arcana, and this is a really big step. Okay, right? Finding your power and taking advantage of opportunities that are presented to you. Good luck with that, guys. I really mean that. And serendipity being there, 4-leaf clover, it's definitely got your back.